probably used to see like this part of myself on this video. You know, I don't even have one of those shirts anymore. Like, I don't know where mine is disappeared to. Yeah. Right now, I wish I had one. I could too. I love the red t-shirts. They're such a good statement. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do. Give it to you. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. I know we need to do a better job of getting our merch out there. Because it just helps people like identify each other, especially with the masks. Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready, but that's where this wants to take a picture.
Excuse me, sir. Can you take a picture for us?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, perfect.
You need to be in it.
That's what I am.
Here, come on.
No, you
Oh, I am too. I was just giving her space so she can make this.
all right. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. I'll take the call. All right. All right. Thanks, brother. Of course.
Oh my gosh, and Rachel does some coalition masks too. And you did it.
Thank you.
Of course. No problem.
Yes, thank you so much. I need some way of showing us how to.
Sorry. Desiree, can you please stand with us, darling?
But I'll take it up for
Here. Want the families, center the families.
Do you need an extra hand?
Ready when you are.
Have you heard from Edna? She may yet be here.
So
I can't come.
you're also speaking really briefly. What do you want me to say? Just say that you support the campaign, and yes, your son was killed by an SCPD officer as well, and the officer is still going on straight. So folks that are going to speak are, I'll introduce you. I'll talk really shortly about the campaign, then I'll introduce you, then I'll let Desiree speak, and then I'll let Brother Yusuf speak. Yeah, it's a new campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prosecutor was pretty sure last week
Yeah.
successfully pulled the idea that there should be
And then you speak, darling.
oversight boards. So I feel good about that. Yeah.
Are we ready?
I don't know why anybody suggested it in the first place, but we killed that idea then. So at least I
Do you mind standing this way so that we're not just, that we're more like
What if we get a black shirt here and a black shirt there so it looks uniform?
Yeah.
Like she stand here, and then you stand right there, and then right here, and then him stand there.
All right. Are we ready? Whenever. Okay. Greetings, everyone. My name is Buki Domingos, and I'm with the Racial Justice Coalition of San Diego. Today, the 23rd day of July 2020, marks the unveiling of our new campaign that is targeted at the District Attorney of San Diego, DA Summer Stephens. The name of this campaign is called Prosecute or Resign. As our press release states, it has been over 25 years that law enforcement have gone free after killing black and brown bodies in San Diego. We have here family members from the Sergio Wick family and survivor mother Desiree Smith that will also be addressing you today. Thank you for coming out today to support this campaign. And as this campaign begins, we are not making any mistakes, and we are not thinking that this is going to be an easy campaign. We are aware of the struggles and we're aware of the pushback that will be associated with this campaign. But we still dare to do this because every black and brown body that has been killed in the city and county of San Diego is worthy of dignity and respect, and the officers must be prosecuted and charged for their criminal acts. Thank you. At this point, I'll pass it on to the aunt of Sergio Wick.
My name is Maria Hoyt, and I am the aunt of Sergio Wick. And I'd like to start by demanding the resignation or the prosecution of officers Christopher Villanueva and Peter Myers. We, the family of Sergio Wick and Jonathan Coronel, demand accountability of these two deputies for the actions in which led to the killings of my nephew and Jonathan Coronel. We would like the reopening of these cases, in which would bring criminal cases for these two deputies, and it would lead to investigations by independent panels made up of voted individuals by the citizens of the county, and the creations of the commissions that oversee police practices, to which there could be subpoenaed by and also of their employment records, character witnesses, in which would allow us to review the investigations of their staff members, and also that would allow us to view their previous employment records, which would include any kind of previous brutality accusations, any type of character witnesses that would also help us keep them from going to other police departments. It would save us a lot of money, tax dollars that we pay as citizens. We need to have accountability for these officers. We cannot keep moving them around from police department to police department. It is costing a lot of lives. I don't know about you, but I don't want any more of my family members being killed. These officers emptied their clips, reloaded. Our people cannot come back to life. I do not want to see my children grow up in these counties, be afraid to walk the streets for fear that they're going to be killed by just simply walking to school. Summer Stephan needs to either resign or she needs to prosecute Christopher Villanueva and Peter Myers.
Good
Good morning. My name is Desiree Smith, and I stand with the Racial Justice Coalition, also as a liaison for the impacted families and surviving families. In 2014, my son was choked by the police at his high school at Lincoln. He survived, so I am also an impacted family. So I'm here with the racial justice, and I also support this prosecutor resign. We are tired of our people being killed with no justification and no prosecution. So my message is prosecute or resign. Thank you.
My name is Yusef Miller with the Racial Justice Coalition, and I'm here to stand with the campaign of prosecute or resign. There are many families throughout San Diego, in Vista, in Oceanside, in El Cajon, in National City. Throughout the county, we have families who are supporting this campaign, and they want justice. They want their family's case to be reopened and reevaluated by an independent commission. Someone that will not give us the exact same results that happened before. People in law enforcement always exonerate their own. And this has been the problem for years, for decades. And we want to have an end to this. We want to prosecute now or resign to District Attorney Summer Stephan.
Good morning, my name is Blair Overstreet. I'm with Showing Up for Racial Justice. In the current system that we have, Summer Stephan's job as the district attorney is to prosecute people for crimes. And Summer Stephan takes a lot of time to really highlight that she has a great record on prosecuting crimes and prosecuting criminals. And yet what we know is that she has left out huge numbers of people who need to be prosecuted for crimes, who have committed crimes by committing violence or even murdering people that are in our community. And yet, for the last 25 years, we've seen none of these people prosecuted. So to say that you're tough on crime is just not true. And what we see is that also Summer Stephan, this isn't isolated. Summer Stephan is a part of a long line of district attorneys here in San Diego. One of her mentors was Bonnie Dumanis, who was right before this, that had the same process of looking at police officers, even having their own coroner say that the death was ruled a homicide, as in the case of Earl McNeil, and still hold no police officers accountable. It's absolutely ridiculous. If in the system we have, the district attorney's job is to protect people from crimes, to hold people accountable for their actions, that she needs to do it for everyone. And we are seeing all over this country that there are district attorneys that are doing this, that are taking that job seriously and finally holding these people accountable. Police officers are not above the law. Police officers are not above the law. And Summer Stephan knows that very well. But the problem is that though in theory that's not true, Summer Stephan makes it possible so that police are above the law. And that is unacceptable. And if what we want to see is, when we talk about accountability, sometimes we get caught up in the idea of what happens after someone is harmed. But what's really important to understand is that accountability and making people accountable to the actions that they take means that they will think twice and the rest of the people in the department will think twice before they violate the rights of other people and kill another person. We're not going to see this happen again in San Diego. Summer Stephan, we have been asking you for years. We asked Bonnie Dumanis for years to hold police officers accountable, and now is the time for you to, in good faith, do your job or resign. Thank you.
All right. Hello. My name is Darwin Fishman, part of the Racial Justice Coalition, and I'm happy to be here and that we're launching our new campaign directed at the District Attorney, Summer Stephan. And it's a really important step, and this has been part of an ongoing process We are continuing the struggle that many others have fought for and many families have fought for. We know that in the last 25 years, the report says that there's been no officers prosecuted for shootings and homicides, and that the only one that has been was last week. So for 28 years, District Attorney Summer Steffens, while being in the DA's office, has not been a part of prosecuting any police officers for misconduct with shootings and homicides. And we want to turn the page on that and join with all the other cities now that are prosecuting police officers for misconduct and for shootings, using the standard that's used in places like Buffalo and Atlanta now. Buffalo, if you knock someone down and you crack open their skull, then you can be fired and prosecuted for it. Apply that here to San Diego and we would have hundreds of officers in jail. It's time for her to connect with what's going on in the rest of the U.S. and to prosecute these rogue officers. That's the best way to ensure quality policing and build strong community relations with the police when they're actually held accountable for what they do. We will be having a major action tomorrow, car caravan, starting here and beginning to call into account for Summer Steffens all of these families that are with us and that have been a part of the over 400 people that have been shot and those that have also been killed by the police. It's a time that they get justice, and we're standing with these families, we're supporting them, and we're coming together with a unified campaign for Summer Steffens to prosecute or resign. And it's also real important, I'll just say, and I used to be on the Community Review Board on police practices, and it was a well-known basically joke about the district attorney that regardless of what we did, the officers wouldn't be prosecuted, even if we sustained the charges. That the only thing that could be done is a lawsuit, and even though the city pays out and the county pays out millions of dollars, no one goes to jail. Even though we know that is guilt money, it's really critical to know that the system is not working here, there's not real civilian oversight, and there's certainly no elected officials that are holding these officers accountable. And we appreciate the campaign and the work of others in bringing in a new CRB in the fall that will be on the ballot. And it's time that we put a check on these rogue officers, and it has to be the buck stops with the district attorney. The district attorney has to step up and make sure that officers are fired and prosecuted when they shoot unarmed people, when they shoot people and they know that they're making mistakes, just like this officer that they're prosecuting this last week. If she uses the same standard for this officer that she's prosecuting now for shooting someone while they're running away from the officer, the deputy shot him in the back, she used that same standard, then we would be looking at Jonathan Cornell, that officer, Sergio Wick, that officer, them being in jail. Just the same with Alfred Alongo. That same standard would put a whole lot of officers in jail, and that's what we're demanding now, and that's what we're going to continue to demand until she starts prosecuting officers or resigns. Thank you.
Again, thank you to everybody that has had the courage to share their story. Sergio's wife is standing with us here today. We need the DA to stop criminalizing black and brown bodies. They are fathers, they are husbands, they are wives, they're human beings. People should not be reduced to, oh, that was just a gang member, that was just a drug addict. These are human beings. We need to stop criminalizing and justifying murder of people that are hiding behind a badge. Thank you for supporting this campaign, and we also welcome all the people that will give us pushback and give us holy hell and tell us that we have no right to do what we are doing. And we have one last speaker. I don't understand what was said in my ear. Of course. And we have been doing series of videos throughout the weeks, and it's probably going on 2.5 months with our social media campaign. And now that the I Can Breathe campaign has been successful in San Diego, we released a video targeting the district attorney. And what makes this video really, really important is you see the names and the faces of the people that have been murdered by law enforcement. And also in that video, you see the names of the officers that killed these people. From Alfred Alongo to Jonathan Coronel to Sherja Wick to James Lacey, you name it, they are on that video. People have done their research, and all these information the RJC can provide to the public as needed, and we will put it on the web. This is no secret. It's time for the district attorney to prosecute those officers, and most of all, it's time for the DA to do her job, not just north of the 8th, but south of the 8th. Thank you all very much, and now we're going to play the soundtrack that is also targeted in raising awareness and telling the DA to prosecute officers.
To lose your job. Now you about to lose your job. Cause Summer said she never prosecute officers. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Say what? You about to lose your job. Now in Dago. Cause Summer said she never prosecute officers. For all the officers, you let out the hood. For all the families that continue to seek justice. What could a black or brown person do to make you take their lives? What made you judge and jury? You need you to get together. Say what? We need you to get it together, Summer Stephanie. Yeah, get it together. Cause you about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Now in Dago, you about to lose your job. Cause Summer said she never prosecute officers. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Say what? You about to lose your job. Now in Dago, cause Summer said she never prosecute officers. To every black and brown person in the city and county of San Diego that has lost their lives, DA Summer Stephens, you want to be that change? We challenge you to prosecute those officers all the time. Not one, not two, not three. All those officers that became people in San Diego throughout the years. Prosecute those officers, Summer Stephens, or you resign and let somebody else step in that seat that can prosecute. Roll officers. Word, y'all. Peace out.